We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Can we get them to eat, these things, these raw cakes and almond milk instead of dairy milk, processed dairy milk. I mean, she knows this stuff. She understands that, cow milk is for baby cows, and she's not a cow, and she understands this very clearly. Actually, most kids understand this much easier than adults who have been given the got milk, propaganda all their lives, So it came from her, and we're gonna manifest it.
And that just hit you right there.
It just hit me right. It certainly didn't take much,
Right.
As I've committed to quite a number of. Actually, the last 12 years, I've been a social worker working with kids, Matt.
Right.
And I've noticed I've worked with kids with serious emotional disturbance, SED, on all sorts of medications, for bogus diagnoses, as people like Mike Adams have even made songs about it. ADHD and ADD is what is it? It's really a side effect of the unnatural world that the kids live in. And foods play a large part of that. I mean, artificial coloring. You take that one thing out, and it's amazing. How you see the behaviors change. And I've seen it myself. The last year that I'm no longer working at this point, but the last year, as I was learning this information, I've actually convinced a few of my parents that I was working with to do these things, and I saw what it did with my own eyes, and it really touched me. So I want to get this out there, to folks.
Man. So you just had to get out of there giving people, when you became enlightened of these facts, you just had to stop giving the drugs.
Yes, I couldn't stand, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm actually helping anymore, because, before I knew this, man, I really thought I was helping, because given the circumstances, not knowing how amazing raw foods are, how amazingly devastating, harmful the toxic foods are, the chemical colorings, the MSG, the fluoride, the mercury, all these things our kids are bombarded with. I didn't know all of that. So me being a social worker and not actually going at the root of the cause of because it's not the kids that's a problem. It's the soil that they've thrown in. The environment that they live in, these toxic environment. So these families have no idea that they're really poisoning their own kids. So knowing that I could change that and go to the root of the problem, as opposed to just giving kids drugs, which is not really tackling the problems. These kids, Matt, they're getting medicated as early as 4 and 5 years old, and they're not getting off, folks. They're not getting off, until they're 18. And I've seen this in 12 years working. I've seen kids. I started working with them as early as 8, 9, and only when they got to 18 years old. And I still stay in touch with a few of these kids who are now in their 20s, and now seeing how stuck they are, they're trapped because they can't as a 16-year-old they can't say I don't want these drugs no more. No, there is a mandate. Social workers are in a position to enforce these rules. They're psychotic rules. That these kids, if they don't take the medication, they're basically looking at getting deported, not deported, but taken away from their homes into group homes. That's what's happening. So the parents are really stuck as well. It's tragic. It's really tragic. But the good thing about it is there are folks, who are out there speaking about it, and I think the more of us, the merrier. And we need to have courage to stand up to this. I don't think we could go lower than where we are. So there's only one way to go is up. And so let's make it happen.
So you just came to Vilcabamba and said goodbye, New York.
We said goodbye, New York, and we want to. So the new values, the new information that we've learned, raw foods and healthy, natural living, now coincides. It just doesn't fit New York anymore. Cement and cars is not the way health and prosperity and happiness, on a long term. So here we are. Everything that Vilcabamba has to offer coincides with our new value and way of life. So it's
and there's a lot of young families here. We're about to go to a party where there's like, how many young families would you say there's?
There's about 20 families at this party, and there's more coming. And it's exciting that, in New York, man, I would have to search so hard to find someone to talk about, mercury and fluoride and raw foods. Oh my goodness! I mean, so you talk to people about raw foods, and they look at you like you have 3 eyes or something. But here, you walk around, and everyone knows the power of raw foods, and that's just so like. You can just relax, just relax and take it in, and so it's wonderful.
I mean, how many of you guys know you have nephews or nieces or cousins that are young like Marina, and they've got the earaches this week, they've got a sore throat the next week, they've got the flu, the runny nose, and that's what was happening to you.
Yeah, that's what's happening to me, and that's what's happening to all kids in that environment, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse because it's not like the chemicals and the artificial food colorings are being taken out. No, they're being bombarded more and more and more. These companies are finding new ways. There's over like 20 different names for MSG. They come up with a different name for it. They call it yeast extract or something completely different. So you really have your work cut out for you as a parent.
And the solution's so easy.
Yes.
So easy.
But it's not easy.
You did it.
Yeah. It's easy, but it's a lot of layers to go through.
Sure.
And it takes a lot of courage, and it's easier when you do it in the community. So it's nice to have a community like what you guys created with Raw Food World. Where folks could go in, and my daughter watched your shows, and when she saw the kind of knowledge that you guys were putting out there. And she was just taking it in, and as it's normalized, and that's what it should be. It's normalized. It's not like alternative. No, it's normal to eat bananas, mangoes, and tomatoes of the garden. It's not normal to eat Doritos who have to go to an oven and be processed and go to a factory. I mean, my daughter's toys should come out of a factory. This $1 million, not her food.
Right. And you're going to create raw food recipes for children, and that's awesome, and everybody. Hey, Marina, you want to come on TV for a minute?
Come, say hello. She's going to be a little more talkative on the show. So
do you like the raw foods? You feeling better since eating those? Yeah? You like the Raw Food World TV show?
Huh? Are you? What is your favorite dessert? Raw food dessert, huh? Any cakes you like?
You know what we actually did? Angela created a little Easter hunt, I think, for Marina to partake in.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be a little fun right now. Oh, now she's excited. And I also think there is some sort of raw food yumminess to be had.
You want to show the folks your flour?
Woo!
Show me your flour. Turn your head, man. Look over here.
There it is. Cool. I'm excited to see the show.
Cool.
So go check it out. What's the YouTube thing?
It's Family of Light 2010. Family of Light 2010 on YouTube.
Yeah, and I'll just post that link below.
Cool.
And you'll see these two doing some magical recipes and stuff like that in the future. When do you think your first show will be up?
I got to work on the magic. The wizard is some effects and all that. So I gotta learn a few of those things. But hopefully within 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So you should subscribe to their channel, and then you'll get an email when it comes up.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for coming on. And who we got here? Your name?
Antonio. Tata Wizard.
And Marina and Matt Monarch. Loving it at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.